Hey guys, welcome to day 2 of our math lessons. I'm going to go over the problems that I gave you guys at the end of the last video, end of yesterday, and we can kind of treat this like homework. So I have these questions here. I wrote them out, and I have my handy dandy FSA reference sheet with all these conversions for us. Remember, we're in customary. We were doing lengths. So this first one, I needed to compare 8 inches and 8 feet. Well, I know that feet are larger than inches, so if I have the same amount of feet and inches, the same number amount, well, the feet has to be more. If you think of a ruler, think of how short 8 inches is and how long 8 rulers together would be, then 8 feet would be larger. Number 2, we have 5 yards and 12 feet. So now we have different numbers. They're not the same numbers, so I can't compare them as easily. So I'm going to use my reference sheet to convert yards into feet. So on my reference sheet, it says that 1 yard equals 3 feet. So 5 yards then must be, well, for every one it's 3, so that would be 5 times 3, which is 15, so that would be 15 feet. So 5 yards and 15 feet are equivalent. So which one's greater now, 15 feet or 12 feet? Or did I say which one's equivalent? Which one's greater? It would be 15 feet is greater than 12 feet. And then the last one we have is 3 yards and 90 inches. So using our reference sheet, we didn't have a yards to inches, but I wrote down that 1 yard is 36 inches. So 1 yard equals 36 inches. So 3 yards, that's 3 multiplied by 36. So if I do that over on the side, 36 multiplied by 3. 3 multiplied by 6 is 18. 3 multiplied by 30 is 90. So when I add these together, I get 108. So 3 yards is 108 inches. 108 inches. So again, 108 inches is greater than 90 inches. All right, number 4, 25 feet is equal to blank inches. Well, using my reference sheet, 1 foot is 12 inches. So I would have to do 25 multiplied by 12. 25 feet, I have to do 25 multiplied by 12. So I could do that 20 and 5, 10 and 2 using an area model. I have 10 multiplied by 20 is 200. 10 multiplied by 5 is 50. 20 multiplied by 2 is 40, and 2 multiplied by 5 is 10. So now when I add all of these partial products together, 250, 40, and 10, we get 300. So we get 300 inches. All right, number 5, we have 3 miles is so many feet. So if I'm looking here, I get 1 mile is 5,280 feet. 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. So since I'm trying to find 3 miles, I'd have to multiply 3 by 5,280. So doing that on the side, 5,280 multiplied by 3. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 80 would be 240. 3 times 200 would be 600. And 3 multiplied by 5,000 would be 15,000. Now if I add all of these partial products, I get 15,840 feet. 57 yards is how many inches? So I would have to do 57 multiplied by 36 because there are 36 inches in a yard. So just doing this one real quick on a calculator just to save some time, that would be 2,052 inches. And then we have an input-output table here. So 2 feet is how many inches? Well, there's, looking up here, we have, where did I write that? Right up here. 1 foot is 12 inches. So 2 feet would be 24 inches. 4 feet would be 48 inches. 6 feet would be 72 inches. And then 8 feet would be 96 inches. For number 9, the last one, I have 1 yard, 2 yard, 3 yard, 4 yard. How many inches? Well, 1 yard is 36 inches. We found that out yesterday. So 2 yards would be 36 plus 36, or 72. 3 yards, we already found out, was 108 inches. And then to figure out that last one, I do 108 plus 36, and that would get me 144 inches. So that's going to be yesterday's length problems. Today we're going to move on to capacity. That's like measuring liquids. So we have our first problem that we're going to start out here, and that's that Steve has 1 gallon of milk. How many pints does he have? It's not pints. A lot of students say pints. It's called pints. So I'm obviously going to have to go to my reference sheet here. And I could see, oh, 1 gallon is 4 quarts. But I want pints. Well, let me just write that down anyways. 1 gallon equals 4 quarts, QT. So now I have 4 quarts. Can I get to pints? Well, 1 quart is 2 pints. So 1 quart is 2 pints. So it looks like I have to multiply my quarts by 2 to get pints. So if I have 4 quarts, then, well, that would be 4 times 2, which is 8. So that would be 8 pints. So how many pints does he have? He has 8 pints of milk. So again, didn't have to have that memorized necessarily. I could use our reference sheet, and this is going to be the section here that's on capacity. All right, so now we have a couple more problems. I have some comparison problems. I have 3 quarts and 5 cups. Now it's hard to compare quarts and cups. They're not the same total measurement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up here and see, all right, I'm going to change my quarts into cups. Well, I can't do that in one step. It looks like I'm going to have to go from quarts to pints, and then from pints to cups. So there is, in 1 quart, 2 pints. So 3 quarts must be 6 pints. Well, in 1 pint, we have 2 cups. So then 6 pints, well, going from pints to cups, it looks like I'm multiplying by 2. That must be 12 cups. So 3 quarts is the same thing as 12 cups. Which one's greater? Well, 3 quarts is going to be greater. All right, next one I have cups and gallons. So again, doesn't look like I have a cups to gallons. I'm going to have to work my way down. I'm going to have to go from gallons to quarts, quarts to pints, and then finally pints to cups, working with that 2 gallons. Well, 1 gallon has, looking at my reference sheet, 4 quarts. So 2 gallons must be 8 quarts. Well, inside 1 quart is 2 pints. So 8 quarts, if there's 2 pints in a quart, I have 8 groups of 2, that would be 16 pints. And now finally I have 16 pints. Inside 1 pint is 2 cups. So since I have 16, that's 16 groups of 2, that would give me 32 cups. So 2 gallons is the same thing as 32 cups. Which one's greater? Well, 32 is going to be greater than 15. All right, some more problems. I have 2 quarts, so many pints. Well, looking here, I have 1 quart is 2 pints. So 1 quart equals 2 pints. So since I have 2 quarts, well, that's 2 groups of 2. 2 times 2, that would give me 4 pints. 4 pints. That one was single step because we could just use this here. And then for this one here, I have 2 gallons equals how many fluid ounces? So we don't see fluid ounces until we get to cups. 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces. So I want to figure out how much 2 gallons is. Well, in the previous problem, we found out that 2 gallons was 32 cups, just working our way down. So we know that 2 gallons is 32 cups. 2 gallons equals 32 cups. Well, 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces. So I have 32 cups. That's 32 cups of 8 ounces, or 32 multiplied by 8. So 32 cups, I'm going to have to do over on the side, 32 multiplied by 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 30, because that's a 30, would be 240. So when I add those together, I get 256. 32 cups is 256 fluid ounces. Again, I could have gone through one step at a time right here, but I already figured out how many cups are in 2 gallons, so why do that more work? Oh, I should write this here, 256 fluid ounces. All right, so very similar to what we did yesterday with that similar thought process. The only real difference is instead of using feet, yards, miles, we're now using cups, pints, quarts, and gallons, and we kind of see some of these conversions aren't. These numbers are all over the place, so that's pretty common in the customary system. So for today's assignment, it's kind of like homework. It's going to be questions number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're skipping 7, 8, and then you're going to do questions 15 and 16 on that second page on the 13.2, the customary capacity, on my teams, which is in files, class materials, and then you should find it in the measurement unit. Remember to continue to use your reference sheet. It's going to help you out. It's kind of like a cheat sheet, as I called it yesterday, and you should be good to go. I'll go over most of, if not all of these problems tomorrow at the start of the next video. All right, hope this helps, and hope you have a great day.